So we talked about the Mexican alien a few weeks ago when that got big, and immediately me, Woody, and Kyle were like, "This is horse ridiculous, like clearly not real." Did you come down differently? Did you think for a bit that it might be legit?
Oh, I immediately thought it was bullshit. That's the first thing that I thought. However, once I saw the further scans and stuff, and with allegedly, them offering these new findings of these supposedly different ones that don't have the backwards fingers that I see going around, I look forward to seeing other people investigate it. I don't think it's a waste of time. I'll say that much. As much as people, I got really attacked on Twitter for that because everybody thought I was saying I thought they were real. I don't think they're real. I think there's a lot of suspicious shit surrounding it. And I definitely think that they need to release them to some actual people that I trust, like let Harvard or something see it. And they're apparently taking steps towards that. All that I wanted to say on Twitter was that people saying these look fucked up. I was saying that what they're saying is thing that is theoretically, allegedly not from Earth doesn't look like it's from Earth, therefore it's fake.
But it did look like it was from Earth.
I thought it looked too much like it was from Earth. It had little nostrils.
Oh my God, that thing looks... All right, if you were buying those at Home Depot as Halloween decorations, you'd be like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not paying $15 for this. It doesn't even look like anything. They are so garbage. They look so fake. They're clearly some sort of cast fucking stone or something, or paper mache. They're bullshit. And like they should... Those were scans from before, and with the eggs on the inside and that stupid thing in the chest. Look at that. Why is its head shaped like that? Like that's a huge so brain, silly. Man.
That's what I'm saying. It just don't look like it's from
That's what E.T.'s head looks. Can you show us E.T.'s head?
It's a lot.
It looks exactly like E.T.
If they showed me a squid, like a big squid thing with like a fucking wearing a leather suit, and had an iPad in its tentacle or something that looked like it was made to be held with a tentacle, I could believe that.
That's better. Right here. This is better than that. Like that.
And I'll tell you this: everybody says that thing is like friendly looking, and they loved it. That thing scared me as a kid. If I saw that in real life now, I'd beat it to death. They'd be like, war has begun with the fucking Neptunians because
blow up the Earth.
Kyle killed one with his bare hands because it came at him in his backyard.
Dude, if I were in charge of the fake alien psyop and they like brought that little like paper mache nonsense to me, I would be like, guys, I am not going to let you humiliate me here. With this, back to the drawing board. You have it have 4 fingers like a Simpsons character and little nostrils and like a chin and eye. Like, no. We need to, get back to the drawing board here.
That's better. That's better.
It's not a lot better. It's clearly a person.
I mean,
with a helmet on.
That's somehow worse.
It's clearly a thing that's alive. That other thing was fake. This is a person, at least. I'm open to the idea there being some like aliens or maybe some sort of alien technology. Like maybe they sent one of those with a von Neumann probes or whatever, the ones that replicate over and over.
Yeah. Sure.
And maybe they sent a little probe here and it's just zipping around. I could believe that maybe. I don't know. There's hair on that one. What the fuck are we?
Well, that's just
a mummy, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's just, or not a mummy, but
that's just a person with
partially preserved.
They like sitting with their knees by their head.
Dropped Frank Reynolds' wheel.
Yeah, they're like all bundled up. Like maybe they used to. Interesting, the hair though, huh?
It is interesting. I know that hair doesn't rot that easily, but that's really intact.
Yeah, I don't believe that's real either. I mean, those knees look. I've never seen a body that had kneecaps.
Oh, like they haven't fallen off yet? You mean like what's going to hold those?
It looks so silly. I don't know what we're looking at, but that doesn't look like a real thing to me either.
No, that looks fake. Also, if
you guys how did they get
Go ahead.
There's like fragile, supposedly ancient pottery below that. How did they get the dirt out of that without shattering what's clearly broken, fragile pottery? It looks like somebody set up
slowly. Maybe.
I don't know. That looks fake.
That's what they do with archaeological digs. They go real slowly with a brush and stuff,
If they had a piece of an alien, if they had an alien body that looked real, like I could get on board. But everything I've ever seen looks so silly, just so silly, and not even close. The stuff that's compelling is that footage from like what is it, the Teddy Roosevelt or whatever, that naval vessel that's got the thermal camera right on the fucking weird top shaped flying object, and you've got them like talking like it's moving X amount of knots, blah blah blah. Indeterminate.
Oh yeah, like the UAP videos.
Like yeah, they're talking about it, and they're naval officers who are clearly confused about what they're looking at. That's compelling. I don't know what the fuck they're looking at either.
Oh, like that guy who was flying around up in the air and like stuff kept popping up on his radar and it was moving in ways that they didn't know how to understand.
That might be part of it, but I'm talking about the video of the. It
was a Navy video that he's talking about.
I'll just call it the spaceship. The video of the fucking spaceship for the long one where they're tracking it for minutes and minutes, and then instead of being like this, it completely changes its orientation and turns like sideways, like longer. I top wonder, to bottom.
Like, did they see it with the naked eye too, or did they see it through the camera and the infrared?
As fast as it was moving, I doubt that they saw it with their naked eye.
I only ask because half of these things get explained by like, oh, it's the way that you're viewing it. Like if you put a speck on my glasses, I'd be like, holy shit, this thing moves in a way that defies fucking physics,
Yeah.
But it's a speck on my glasses. And that happens with lenses. That happens. Lens flare, for example, is like those rainbows you kind of see around lights. But sometimes there are artifacts that like make little bright triangles,
Counterpoint. I doubt they were looking at it with a telescope. I thought they were looking at it with the most expensive piece of optics that money can buy.
Yeah, in this case, it was radar equipment.
You say it was old?
Like a couple years ago. Like there's an interview with the guy that on the boat, like a naval officer on YouTube. I was watching it earlier. He was like, I was on the Teddy Roosevelt during the Dresden event or whatever. But so it's recent, and it's again, that to me speaks a little bit to the whatever the fuck is going on of it. Is that if this wasn't some like kid's iPhone that tracks something funny.
Right, it's like, military equipment.
It's the best equipment there is for looking at things flying in the air. It's like, what does that piece of equipment do normally? It finds things that fly really fast in the air that don't want to be seen. So it's made for this. Yes. And it's having a hard time. You can't figure out what it is. We have no idea what that is.
And if we're talking about,
I hear you.
It tells you what things are. It's like,
I think my skepticism just has me latching on to any other explanation and believing it over the alien thing.
I think the most likely scenario is that there's a branch of some branch of the military or someone in our military is using some cool shit and not telling the guys that when it's way below their pay grade. Why would that guy on that boat need to know that they're flying their magical flying donut shaped unmanned vehicle tonight? Maybe
I imagine they'd shut that down though. Like
if you wanted to like test your cool new toy. What's the use in flying it to Russia where they shoot their own shit down and like shoot their own men because they're so incompetent? You'd want to fly it around one of our boats, like who's got the good shit, right? And then that way, if they accidentally shoot you down, it's like, oh, let's go to cover. We're in safe waters and everything. It just seems like if you're testing your new scary shit, you'd test it on your own people.
No, I think you'd want to fly it around Russia and China, and then just like every few weeks you zoot around there a little bit, and then you go back. And then you like hard scope their media and like our spies tell us. And then they're like, really? Nobody saw anything? Russia did see anything? China saw something. Okay. Well, now we know they got fucking something over there.
Yeah. I just don't believe in little green men, mostly because I'm so afraid of them. I can't live in a world where they exist. I remember in Independence Day, there's that newscast you kind of hear in the background. They're warning people not to fire their handguns at the craft. I'd be that guy. I'd be out there. Look, we gotta go.
Hit the crack. Take off, pop it off at it like it's gonna help.
I'm sorry. I saw
this
fire
one
in the sky.
Sucks.
This one looks awful.
Like, is this carved out of wood?
That's what I was about to say. It's like ivory or something, isn't it?
Isn't that one weirder? I'm sorry. Isn't that one real?
This?
What do you mean real? Is it
a real? As in, I don't know that it's extraterrestrial, but they did a DNA test on it and they found it to be 92% like humans. Yeah. At first, 8% of the DNA did not match with human DNA. An improved analysis says it matched at 98%. So it's basically a human, or what else matches 98% with humans? Fetus? Monkeys, mutations.
That would be 100%, right? I don't know.
It's definitely human. I mean, people have sent in like lizard spit to 23andMe and they're like, you're French. Like people have literally done that. So like, yeah, if this is definitely like a human with.
That's what I was getting. It's human, or I don't know enough about genetics. If you were to say that monkeys match 98%, I'd be like, well,
what
Taylor
is this
knows.
Supposed to be? Is there an article to correspond with this? Like
there is. He linked it. It's on CNN.
Just
above it.
Summarize it for me, Kyle.
Oh yes,
The
instantly. I
entire
will.
article. Yeah.
They're
Look at his
comparing
little Glasgow smile on the right one.
It's 6 inches
Yeah.
tall. They think it's
Wait,
a 6.
is it?
Yeah, look at the fabric. You can
It's
see
a
the
skeletal
fabric. there, though.
conundrum made by perplexing features. It's only 6 inches tall,
You're
but
right, good
initially
call.
initial
Oh.
estimates of the age of the bones were consistent with a 6 to 8 year old child. 10 pairs of ribs rather than 12.
The fuck?
Okay, well, a human with this level of problems, I'm not blown away by missing ribs.
So reportedly, this was found in 2003. It was found in a deserted mining town called La Noria in Chile's Atacama region. It has thought to be ancient at first, but initial analysis conducted in 2012 proved the skeleton was only about 40 years old. I mean, this is just nonsense. I just don't believe this. This is somebody's dumpster baby.
Why are aliens so heavily invested in South and Central America? Like it's so many of them are like Argentina or Chile or somewhere around there.
Peru.
Like, Peru. How often
Here's a
is it that a
question.
Canadian finds one?
Why is
Like,
it that
never?
since we've started having video cameras in our pockets, there haven't been more aliens captured, like on camera?
Yeah,
Right?
there
It used
should
to be
be
you'd go
more.
There's a pretty good
camping
bit
and
of them,
people
but-
would have like alien abductions. Now that everyone has a video camera, the alien abductions have dropped dramatically.
That got rid of a ton of the horse shit, but it also left some stuff that I don't have a good enough eye to ever tell. Like if you go on the UFO or the UFOs plural subreddits, you'd be like, shit, I don't know if that's all right. So maybe that's an alien, or maybe this is someone really good at editing. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like,
But you gotta
will
be careful in
absolutely see videos on there of a craft that like
You can't
I saw
explain it.
one and I was like,
Mhm.
can't explain that. Better go to the comments. And they're like, this is a commercial from 2019.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is a clip from a video game. This is Photoshop. This is editing. And it's just like, it's so good you
Dude,
can't tell. I mean,
those
CGI
Those
is
things
so
get
good.
me a lot.
Mhm.
There's some Ukrainian footage of a jet that like dodges 12 pieces of anti-air and then like hits its bomb and zips off into freedom. And I'm like, holy smokes, this is intense. And they're like, that's Arma 4. That you totally bought it. And I did.
I gotta play Arma 4.
Right?
Best advertisement ever.
Is
And then
Arma
there's another one. I guess there's a guy just like, oh, the humanity as gigantic waves roll in. And then he's like, what? There's a person surfing on it. And the wave like comes crashing. You see him, he's killing it. And then he's like, oh no. And then the wave, like the breaking part of it catches up to the guy, but then he pulls through and gets free again. He's like, oh my God, it's a Powerade commercial. But if you see it, you'd be fooled too. It is outrageously good.
There's an old commercial where there's like some African, might not even be a commercial, it's an internet clip. There's like 3 or 4 African like warlord looking motherfuckers with AKs and camo on, and a monkey comes up and they're all, oh, look at the little monkey. And they give it a gun and they think it's so funny. And then the thing fucking picks the thing up and goes, da 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 da. And they're all running from the monkey. And he looks like he's operating the machine gun, not well, but like he's figured out if you squeeze it just right, it kills. And then like maybe the cameraman falls over or something like that. And I was like, the fuck was that, bro? Because I don't know.
You fell for that one? I know exactly the video. You thought a 30-pound monkey was wielding an AK-47 like that?
It was not a 30-pound monkey. When he picked it up, it might have been a baboon or a chimp. It was a monkey that could handle a firearm.
So one of a kind.
What was it? Do you know the origin of the video?
I honestly don't, but I guarantee it was a commercial. Or something. I bet it was a teaser for a Netflix movie where animals get smart and take over. It was some shit like that.
Animals
the one
have
that
to
didn't
get
fool
so
me, of
fucking
course,
smart.
the miniature giraffe, like the mini giraffe that was like, ee! Like your pet. That one didn't get me, thankfully. But
That's
you know,
pretty embarrassing.
So I am addicted to this one
Wings believed in
YouTuber. I think his name is Brian Cox. The guy, he's
Yes.
British. Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Physicist, I think. Anyway, he's convinced me that we might be alone in the universe. He's talked about alien life. And by the way, when I say life, I mean intelligent, complex life, not viruses and amoebas and stuff.
yeah, somebody could talk to.
Mhm.
Sure. So he says the universe is 12 billion years old. Apparently, we know this. All right. Earth is about 4 billion years old. So a third of the universe's entire span of existence. And Earth has had basically a stable environment for 4 billion years. That's how long it took for the amoebas and specks and whatever to evolve into humans, about 4 billion years. And he's like, it is very possible that 4 billion years of stable, like life providing planets is rare. When we look around, other planets have more comets, and the suns get bigger and smaller, and the climates change in dramatic ways. And Earth has been pretty much stable for a third of the universe's existence. That doesn't happen much. That's why we're not talking to other people.
Could be true.
I'm only as good as my source, but I bought into it, and he's very convincing. He says it better than me.
I think that in that case, I think I've seen that video. He was addressing the answer that what they call the Fermi paradox. About how theoretically, if the universe is infinite, that means there's infinite planets with infinite stages of life, and some of them out there should be able to manipulate what we call space-time. Surely, so I think it would have been. I would have imagined that was theorizing. I remember that, but I love Brian Cox, man. That dude is completely awesome. He explains things in a really great way. He's become a big favorite of mine over Neil deGrasse lately for the way that he breaks things down. I do remember that clip, and he said, and he also pointed out that in 4 billion years of a constant chain of life on Earth, we don't have the technology to leave our solar system yet, despite having 4 entire billion years of a chain. Now, that being said, we had a mass extinction event that happened, and life kind of started over. Yeah, true. We've got a lot.
I think when you say, so everything he said, I'm sure makes sense and is true. The only thing that I would say is like, I think the Earth had a bunch of, I think for like 1.5 billion years, it was like on fire, like molten.
At the beginning.
It was a while before the surface wasn't just a big molten pool of rock. And then it's because at some point something hit us and became the moon. Like something big hit us and we coalesced, and then a blob came off and became the moon. We know it did. They can. It's fun. There's questions. They're like, well, how do they know? How do they know how big it was? Well, because if it'd been any bigger, it would have hit our core and stolen that iron away. But there's no iron. The moon doesn't have an iron core, so they know it didn't penetrate what we would think of as like the proto-Earth, the first Earth before it got hit. So to go all the way to the core.
Is the moon the thing that hit us, or is the moon a piece of Earth, or a little of both? Are there elements? I'm asking. I don't know how to ask my stupid question, but are there things on the moon that you don't get from Earth because they came from a meteorite?
I would assume so.
I don't know anything about that, but I've seen a simulation, like a computer simulation of like what they think it would have looked like, and you just got like a smaller ball hitting a bigger ball, but then they just become this weird flowy mass of like molten glass, and then a blob sort of like flicks off and slowly falls into an orbit. It was really. Would
the Earth still be like so nice and round after that collision?
Gravity does that.
The whole thing like moltenified and then went back into a sphere again.
Yeah, well, there's plate tectonics as well, right? So
of course, plate tectonics.
It's all always eating itself and replenishing, right? Well, I mean, how plate tectonics work. That's not. Don't act like that's above anybody's head.
I didn't think about how that.
Yeah, I think Josh knows though. Like with gravity, like if you take something in zero gravity, like a drop of water in zero gravity, it's going to form a sphere as it just floats there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A video I saw about it also demonstrated something similar to what Kyle's talking about, and it was like they slow-moed a drop of water, and they showed that when the drop hits, it sinks deep down into it, but then there's that splashback, if you will. And they said that basically the same thing would have happened with a planet, and that's why you see spikes in the middle of craters on the moon and stuff like that, and probably something similar on. Oh, okay, here we go. Is that the one you were talking about, Kyle?
What? Yeah. Well, I mean, more or less.
Yeah. Now it's gonna get its own gravity
because of like the quality that it looks.
Yeah.
So did a lot of these form into like that belt of, what is it called? The Kuiper belt? Is that like the
Kuiper belt
that's around us, or super far away?
I don't think so.
Kuiper belt is the one that's super, super duper far away. I don't know how.
Do we not have many asteroids? We don't have
There's
many
a big
hanging
belt.
out around us.
So don't think belt or like a congested thing of them like in Star Trek. But between Mars and Jupiter, there is a sphere of asteroids, not a ring of asteroids that's going around the solar plane with us. but it's a loosely packed. You could when you see them navigating asteroid fields and you see they're everywhere. That's just crazy silliness.
It doesn't take an exceptionally good Starfleet pilot to navigate the asteroid fields in real life.
Miles and miles apart. Like you wouldn't see one from the other probably.
If you were moving at like relative speeds.
You need a telescope and like some knowledge to figure out.
Well, they're at impulse speed. So that's not that fast.
I don't know how fast impulse speed is.
That kind of sucks. We only get one moon.
They do though. There's a handbook that lays all that stuff out.